Thank you for calling the Venue Helpline, the podcast where venues share their biggest frustrations, toughest challenges, and behind the scenes headaches. If you run a venue or work at one and you've ever thought, "Oh, why is this so hard?" you're in the right place. Each week, you'll hear practical solutions from vetted experts who've been there, done that, and know what actually works. Because running a venue is hard enough. You shouldn't have to figure it out alone. Now, let me put you on a brief hold for the next available helper.
Hi, this is Paul with Venue Help Desk. What are we tackling today?
So I work at a wedding venue, and something that always throws off a tour is when couples bring their kids along. I totally understand. They're a family, the kids might even be in the wedding, but it makes the tour so much harder. The kids are bored, the couple's distracted, and I feel like I'm talking to half their attention the whole time. I don't want to come off like I don't like kids, but it really affects how much we can actually get done. Is there a better way to handle this without sounding rude?
Oh my gosh, this is so real for me. And I love that they said, I don't want to sound like I don't like kids, because that's exactly the tightrope we're walking here. It's not about disliking kids, it's about trying to run a professional, high-value tour when your couple's attention is divided. And if you've ever had this happen, you know, once the kids start getting restless, it's all over with. You're trying to talk about the ceremony flow, and you look over and the child is eating goldfish off the floor. It's not an isolated problem. This happens a lot, especially with your older couples, second marriages, or blended families. And the problem isn't the kids, it's the lack of the plan. Because when you don't set the expectations up front, the whole tour ends up feeling like chaos. Here's why this can get messy for your venue. When the kids are along for the ride, you lose that control, the rhythm of your tour. You can't go deep on those details. The couple isn't retaining information. And that emotional momentum, that feeling of, oh my gosh, this is our venue, it just doesn't build the same way. You end up doing more managing than selling. You're smiling and saying, no worries, as the toddler runs behind the bar, but inside you're thinking, we're never going to finish this tour. It also changes the focus. They're not taking in your storytelling. They're thinking about the snacks, the nap time, and even those meltdowns. And even though you totally understand, you're also left feeling like the tour was incomplete. You didn't get to show your best self or the best version of your venue. So let's fix that. Here's how to handle this gracefully and still protect the quality of your venue tours. Number one, you want to set expectations before the tour. This one change will solve most of it. In your tour confirmations, email or text, you want to include a simple line like, for your comfort, this tour is designed for guests 16 years or older. We recommend arranging childcare if possible, so you can fully experience the venue together. The key is how you phrase it. Don't make it sound like a rule, make it sound like a benefit. This is a big deal. You're saying we want you to have our full attention without distractions, not please don't bring your kids. And if you want to sound extra accommodating, add, if you do need to bring your kids, just let us know so we can adjust the format. This gives them permission while still preparing you to modify your approach. Number two, you want to adapt the experience when kids do come, because sometimes it's just going to happen. If they show up with the little ones, have a plan. Start with a quick sit down portion where the kids can breathe for a moment, color, have a snack while you talk through some key details. Bring out what I call the little kid distraction kit. That can be like coloring pages, crayons, maybe even an iPad with a Disney movie queued up, ready to go. Set the tone with warmth. They're so excited to see where mom and dad are getting married. Then structure your tour in smaller bursts instead of one long walkthrough. Break it into short, engaging stops where you can reset attention each time. Keep also safety and visibility in mind. Pick routes where you can still keep an eye on everyone without worrying about staircases or even hazards. Number 3, you want to control the energy, not the family. Here's the thing you can't control: the kids. But you can control that energy. If the vibe shifts, stay calm and centered. Redirect it with warmth. Like, no worries, let's circle back to the ceremony space once everyone is settled. The parents will follow your lead if you get flustered. They also will get flustered. If you stay confident and upbeat, they will relax. Your job isn't about discipline, it's about really guiding the focus. And that's a sales skill. It's no different than if you're handling an off-topic question or a partner who is disengaged on the tour. You're still leading the experience. Number 4, you want to follow up with focus. If the tour ends up feeling scattered, make up for it afterwards. Send a personalized follow-up, even maybe a quick video message if you have the ability to. Like, I know it can be tricky with little ones, so I wanted to recap a few of the highlights we covered. Here's what stood out most about your wedding at my venue. This gives you a second chance to reinforce the key selling points, and it reinforces their attention on you and your venue. It also communicates that you understood the situation and cared enough to go that extra mile anyways. So here's your key takeaway. You don't have to choose between being family friendly and being professional. You can be both as long as you lead with empathy. You also want to communicate clearly and have that plan. Set expectations before the tour, adapt the experience during the tour, and then refocus after the tour. Because at the end of the day, you're not saying no to families, you're saying yes to focused, meaningful tours that actually lead to those bookings. Well, that does it for today's episode of our podcast on the Venue Helpline. Remember, every episode starts with a real life venue frustration. So if something's been tripping you up, share it with us. You can call or submit your questions online at venuehelpdesk.com. We'll break it down, help you find the fix. Until next time, venues,